In Yellowstone, John Dutton III was portrayed as the ultimate Western patriarch. Despite the modern world he lived in, John fiercely clung to his old-school way of life, doing anything and everything to protect the Dutton family legacy, no matter how illegal, ruthless, or monstrous. Yellowstone didn't portray him as a saint, but the Taylor Sheridan series certainly made the argument that in John's world, frontier justice was necessary. It's telling that when John was killed off, as a result of Kevin Costner's abrupt series exit, Yellowstone was never the same. Without the Dutton patriarch around to continue his battle against outsiders looking to steal his land, both the other characters and the story as a whole fell apart, resulting in a disappointingly weak Yellowstone series finale. However, now that Beth and Rip are living in a post-John Dutton world, their Yellowstone spin-off, Dutton Ranch, calls into question John's way of life. When her father was alive, Beth's unwavering loyalty prevented her from asking him if his non-stop struggles were worth it, but now that he's dead, it's a question she can't stop thinking about, expressing as much to Rip in the Dutton Ranch premiere. The second episode, Earn Another Day, is full of Yellowstone Easter eggs, including a Walker shout-out and an homage to the soulful musician when Rip hires Zachariah straight out of prison, just like he did with Walker in the original series. These aren't just fun callbacks, though, they serve to call out Rip's late employer and father figure in a major way. Unlike John Dutton, Rip puts cowboy work over legacy at Dutton Ranch. Emerson Miller/Paramount+. A steady job and a place to call home at Yellowstone Ranch sounds like a dream to ex-cons whom society would rather cast out. However, working for John Dutton III comes at a price. John didn't just want hardworking ranch hands, he wanted a lifetime commitment of fealty to him and his land, and, in a barbaric ritual, he required all outlaws working for him to receive a Yellowstone brand, ensuring they were never truly free. When Zachariah agreed to work for Rip in perhaps the briefest, gruffest job interview of all time, the question immediately became, will Zachariah get branded? However, as soon as they returned to Dutton Ranch, it became clear that wasn't going to happen. Rip immediately threw Zachariah into work, and the only warning he received was Azul telling him that Rip doesn't suffer fools. For as much as John yearned for simple cowboy life, he could never truly be one because his stubborn, egotistical need to cling to legacy got in his way. Now that Rip has been liberated from being John's enforcer, it's clear that he doesn't give a hoot about legacy and just wants to be a cowboy, put in a hard day's work and let that be his reward. That sense of peace extends to Rip's workers, and it's something that, for all their camaraderie, the crew in John's bunkhouse never really had. In one of Dutton Ranch's tenderest scenes thus far, at the end of his first day as a free man, Zachariah tearfully looks up at the starry Texas night sky and whispers, "Yeah." He doesn't have a palatial home and acres upon acres of land to call his own, he has a barnyard bunk, and that's it. Yet, in this moment, Zachariah is happier than John Dutton had ever been in his entire life. Beth and Rip could use some of John Dutton's ruthlessness paramount. On the other hand, Beth and Rip's simpler way of living comes at a price, and it may just be their survival if they don't start sharpening their knives. While they may not be Dutton Ranch's John Dutton replacement, Beulah Jackson sure is, and the owner of the largest ranch in South Texas has already sized the couple up as an enemy. Though Beth has already found some workarounds for doing business without acquiescing to Beulah's extortion attempts, she is still on Ten Petal Ranch matriarch's radar. Beulah has her plate full cleaning up Rob Will's messes and getting her bunkhouse back in order, but as seen with her researching the death of John Dutton, she's not dismissing Beth as a threat. The show is strongly suggesting that Beulah is going to attack and keep on attacking until she has Dutton Ranch under her manicured thumb. Beth using a slaughterhouse in San Antonio isn't going to cut it. At some point, she's going to have to fight dirty like she did when her father was alive. John Dutton may have been a brutal man, but there's no denying his methods were effective, and that legacy is sure to live on in Dutton Ranch.